Future improvements. We have also created a platform for hunters to share their feedback in order to offer a better experience. We kindly ask you participate, or we kindly ask for your active participation so that we can actively improve our shortcomings. A survey will be conducted separately soon, so let's talk about this. Improvements. There are issues that the game has, which I'm sure will get rectified, looked into, and fixed up. Now, the reason being on why I'm here right now is because there are some big improvements that, if made early on, will put this game in a better standing. I mean, look, the game itself, and especially with how the developers are handling the game, you know, they're doing it in a fantastic way so far. I'm just saying there are some key things right now that, in my opinion, are really weighing a ton on actually affecting the game, at times even frustrating myself. So with all that being said, I want to bring up some issues. Hopefully, if you guys agree with me, you can also apply it into your feedback. Also, I want to mention, if there's anything that I don't mention in terms of it being a big deal for the game that you think it is, leave it in the comments. So that way, when it comes to me giving my feedback, I can potentially add some of you guys in to be like, you know what, I agree with your feedback on what needs to be changed. Let me put that onto all the stuff that I'm saying, right? So that way we can all kind of help each other out and kind of push forward our concerns on what needs to be furthermore improved for the game sooner rather than later, right? Kind of work together to kind of push our agenda on fixing on what needs to be fixed or improved in this case. Anyway, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is I'm going to talk about events. And more specifically, it's going to be these type of events that they are more consistent with. Obviously, with these events, of course, right here, these drop once in a blue moon or whenever a new character drops. Of course, these are going to be the norm. These events I actually don't mind. They're actually pretty handy and fair overall. It really comes down to these type of events, especially when it comes down to getting the event where it requires you to work on characters to get points or work on weapons to get points, and it just comes down to what happens if I can't work on any more characters, you know, what happens if I can't work on any weapons, or what if I don't have the resources to. Those type of events for me need to be re-looked into and kind of catered to in a fair way. Obviously with these exploration challenges, I mean, again, I feel like these need to be re-looked into. So obviously with the dungeon exploration, clear instance and on-call mission dungeons, of course, they even gave us more time, I believe, on this. And the crazy thing is that they were gifting us more keys, but they also said that they improved on the amount of points that we get. But the crazy thing is that I'm still 1k off. Now, granted, I haven't been buying the keys on a daily basis through the mana crystal shop-wise, so maybe I would have potentially, if I was staying on top of that, probably would have gotten the extra 1k. But that just goes to show, like, if I'm here, then where's everyone else, you know? And to those that are relying on the game to provide you with the keys and with the amount that they were giving out, and if I'm at level, well, if I'm past 12, that just goes to show that yeah, I don't think they were really looking into the amount of points that was being given to the amount of points that is required for the bar itself. So like, these events do need to be looked into, and the longevity of these events, it's questionable, especially with 2 of them. These ones are doable, but the amount of points that we get to how much points is required from the bar for some of them, especially this one, I'd say need to be re-looked into. Once this disappears, this one's popping up. Dungeon Exploration Tournament. Clear instance and on-call mission dungeons to obtain rewards. It's the same thing. I'm just going to lose out on getting this bad boy, which I know a lot of people want. That's going to be annoying. The gate exploration one, you know, we got one. I mean, this isn't too bad. Again, I think this is in a much better standing due to the fact that of now the improvements that they made, right, with the gate side of things, where we can now rescan, use gold. The tier 33 version of it has been slightly well, it's more easier now, of course. So with the improvement that they've made on the gates, I will say that this part of the event side of things is not too bad. Again, I think the thing that they need to look into is the points and the what do you call it, and the bar system here on the points required for the resources and materials, of course. But overall, I don't know, I feel like they can potentially do some more events that's a little bit more engaging, right? Because I mean, here's the thing: regardless of these events being here, people will still are still going to be grinding out the gates and the dungeons and whatnot. Now, don't get me wrong, I do like the extra resources being given. You know, it's not too bad, but I don't know. I just kind of want something more with the event side of things that's a little bit more engaging, that has its own little separate shop that we kind of look into, kind of like how the rock paper scissors is, except I mean the rock paper scissors isn't exactly that engaging since we're kind of just picking. Now, my biggest, I think this is going to be, like, I feel like for a lot of people, like the #1 problem that needs to be looked into is artifacts. Not so much gaining artifacts, no, not so much gaining artifacts, the substats. Now, as it stands, in order to get the perfect artifacts, it requires you to actually do the runs and hope RNG is on your side and providing you with that artifacts, and then from that, you have to hope and pray that the that the correct substats get the pluses, right? Now, the biggest issue that I have that really annoys me. Okay, how do I? Let me just quickly do. Nope. Right, let's not do levels. Let's do claim. Is this one? Yes. Is this? So I have been for the longest. I'm trying to get myself gold boots to give crit damage, and then obviously the substats being decent. Same thing for the arm. Obviously with the hand, it's always going to be additional attack, meaning main stats. So I'm trying to get some good substats. HP, attack, crit hit rate. Attack, crit hit rate. Those are the two ones that I'm really looking for. I don't know if anyone else has been noticing. Why is it that whenever you get the artifacts that is just coming out being like, oh, this is the one, it's got everything going for it, and then there it is, healing, and it's so consistent too, and it's always coming up on the good artifacts. Has anyone noticed that? Am I going crazy? Because every single time I'm just like, this is okay, this is actually pretty decent. This is the artifact, yes, and then out of nowhere, hey, you want some healing there? No, I don't want healing. And then when I'm just like, you know what, I'm just going to bite the bullet and I'm just going to use it in hopes that I don't get pluses on it. Lo and behold, it gets pluses. So with that being said, just to kind of prove my point, hopefully it goes against me. Please go against me. Don't do it. I hate this game. Like, is it going to get +2? No. Oh, now you want to go to crit hit rate, right? This is a problem. It's frustrating. It's annoying. You can literally go weeks and weeks and weeks on trying. And and one thing I just want to clarify, I'm actually really annoyed of this because I have been trying my longest to get something going for these three, being a body piece, and this is for Alicia, by the way. And whenever something like this happens, it pisses me off. This needs to be re-looked into. Not so much on the RNG play on gaining the artifacts and whatnot, but they need to, because again, we've seen, you know, other games already have it, and I'm kind of surprised on why this has not been kind of even mentioned or even talked about. But we need to implement something that changes or gives us the ability to change substats. Now, I know this was kind of mentioned, I think back in the soft launch days. I think I think it was Alpha, or maybe someone who found out, I'm not too sure, that they were considering maybe applying this in. But the fact that it's still not in, not even mentioned, is mind-boggling, and it really is kind of it is taking its toll, I will admit. Because to be honest, boys, when you're doing constant runs and you're not getting what you want, to the point where you eventually get what you want, and then out of nowhere some BS like this happens, it takes a toll on you. Like, honestly, it just makes me want to scream and shout and just let it off. Jesus Christ. But they need to make it so that there has to be an item that we could potentially get in some way or form, I don't know, or implement some sort of mechanic to make it so that we can reroll our substats. Now, obviously there's multiple ways that they can go about it. They can potentially add a mechanic where it rerolls all your substats, which is probably going to be a given, because obviously they're going to make it more harder on us. But I'm confident in saying that they'll probably make it so that there's a material or maybe a cost of kind of like locking in substats. They might even make it where if you lock in, let's say, 2 substats, at that point it might cost you essence to reroll, right? Which is fair enough. I mean, I get it. I mean, at that point, I mean, at this current moment, I do not care. Like, I will gladly give up essence. Like, I need this gone. I need this gone. I'm starting to think that the rate for like this healing is higher than everything else, because it's so consistent for me. It's so infuriating too. Oh my, look! What are you doing? Oh my god, look! What are you doing? Oh my god, I could have actually used this. Wait, do not be... Well, let me see what the final Duke is going to be. Let's have a look. Oh my... That marble. No, please, if you're watching this video, I encourage you, if you give back any feedback, please, please, please tell... Well, make sure to put in your feedback, we need substats reroll. We need it. Because this... I can't deal with this anymore. I'm losing my mind. Again, this is more for all of us just kind of giving our opinions and thoughts, and then when it comes to us giving our feedback, we can kind of give them like a chunk of feedback from not just with certain things that we want fixing, but other points that we might not be aware of that we can just kind of pile on, so that way if more of us are bringing this issue to attention to Netmarble, and there's a lot of us kind of talking about it, then of course Netmarble will furthermore look into it, as there's a bunch of people, you know, talking about it, giving feedback on it, and want it to be improved, etc. So there's that. So yeah, I'll look forward to what you guys are saying now, and then I'll throw in a few more on top of what I'm saying. So yeah, but anyway, I think that's everything. Yeah, those are my biggest issues. Those are my big... Mainly it's the artifacts. I'm gonna keep it real. It's, god damn it, the healing. It's making me go crazy.